Hello and welcome to the Blooming Oracle Enchanted Tea Room. Today's pick a card reading is going to be the message your soul has been calling you to remember. We're going to do something really fun and expansive today to lean into those messages in really unique ways by also using our blooming, beautiful tea bud here. So we're going to get some tea messages along with your reading today. We've got 3 piles, whichever one calls to you, go ahead and choose. And what we're going to do with your blooming bud here is allow it to expand throughout the reading. And we're going to see what it is that wants to unfold throughout each card. And if you want to wait until the end of the reading for the extended message that comes from your blooming bud, then you can go ahead and jump right to that too if you feel like you want that message first. Pile number 1, you chose the Writer's Chalice. This is from the Moon Logic Practical Magic deck. This is my deck that I had channeled, and it's going to create some beautiful message today and our starting off point. So thank you so much for joining me here at the Blooming Oracle Enchanted Tea Room. Today's message is going to start off with the energy that you're coming in with. So this is the energy that you're bringing into this session, the intention that you're setting to be here and present. Now, I'm shuffling really slow today. We've got so much energy that wants to jump out of this particular deck. So it actually feels very controlled. And you may be coming into this part of your life where you've actually had to have a lot of control over what's been going on, or maybe you've wanted to feel like you could have control over what's going on. But sometimes in life, the last thing that we actually need is to have control over what's going on. So I'm going to let this energy out here for a second. And there we go. See how fast this energy wants to move out for you. So we're starting with flow. So yes, your huge message that is coming through very strongly is, where do you need to actually be more in flow? Now, this is the energy that you're coming in with, and the message that your soul is guiding you to remember is, where do you need to really be into more flow in your life? And I want you to notice the beautiful purple that is expansive with this particular card, because it's allowing for you to really get in touch with those parts of you that might actually feel like they need forgiveness to move into flow. Now, the other one that shot out of the deck here as we were shuffling is communication. Now, this feels very strongly more into, what do you need to communicate with you? Where is your soul calling you to get into flow around the things that need to move into place in more of a way that allows for you to not need to know all of the details? So, as we move from your beginning energy here being the Writer's Chalice, this is about activating who you truly are. Now, we've got a new moon today as this particular reading is coming out, and the new moon is for the time when you are starting a new beginning, where you are realizing your intentions, where you are getting into flow. So I think you're beautifully aligned with coming into a new cycle within your life. You're noticing more of who you are. And the message, look at, as we get into flow, look at how much water energy we have here. When you think about water, when you think about allowing yourself to float and just go where that movement is encouraging you to flow into, that's where your energy is actually calling you to pay attention. So we're going to see where else your energy is leading into. Yeah. So we've got, imagine, just imagine closing your eyes for a moment here with me and imagining, where could you go if you were to communicate with yourself here about where this flow is actually taking you? Look at this expansive view that we have into how you might feel if you were to let the waters actually flow over you. What does that mean to you? Have you had the opportunity to even just placing yourself within water to see if there's messages that are coming through? I think this particular group, this group number 1, has, and interestingly enough, our card is also card number 1 here at the beginning of a cycle. So group number 1, you are absolutely an intuitive group here. You are somebody that probably pulls your own cards on a regular basis. You are someone that, again, the energy of this is like, wait, wait, wait. And I don't think there's any more waiting left for you to do. I think there's been a pullback that you've been experiencing of your energy, where you've really wanted to probably be this person in flow. Again, you're probably somebody who's picking your own cards, who's looking at the messages, who is getting that divine guidance on a regular basis. Maybe you're seeing angel numbers quite regularly here. And it's like, you want me to open this up and say, just let me choose, do this faster. And this is where you're being called to slow. The energy that you're coming in with, the message you need to hear most, is to actually slow. So I can like feel your sense on this particular one here. And we've got more of this beautiful blues and aquas and purples and authenticity. So, where have you actually been hiding who you truly are by feeling like you need to have control over a situation, by feeling like you need to present yourself in a certain manner? Now, noticing, look at how much beautiful balance and synchronicity we have to these cards. There's a lot of different colors throughout this particular deck, but we've got this array that was like beautifully orchestrated for you to see how much there is so much balance within your life if you allow yourself to dive more into that authentic part of who you are. So leaning more into that, like, look at, we've got this really shooting star energy that's wanting to come through. And now our blooming tea over here is having this very slow start. It's having this resonation of, okay, I'm here, but I need to sit in this energy for quite a bit longer in order to really pick up any of that. And this particular blooming bud today is the rising spring. And I think that's perfect for where we are in terms of the seasons and the cycles and how you're starting off with something new in your life right now. And if you've had an idea that you've wanted to explore, if you've had an idea, this card very strongly that you've wanted to explore, it is time to go into those, I want to say, deeper parts to who you are. There's a mystery to you that you haven't let out yet. There's something deeper within the surface that you have been connecting to in your quieter times. There's an artist in you that wants to thrive and be seen and overflow. And in order for that to come out, you got to get a little bit more mysterious about who you are, a little bit more inquisitive about those parts of you that really want to come through. Noticing where you were drawn into this reason, or this reading rather, for a reason, for you to see the different parts of you that are very connected. Look at that, shooting across, right? Shooting star energy. And these two, I'm going to literally go across the room to pick these up. This is where we're starting to get into different energy now, right? So we have this one here, pleasure, yes. Leading into that mystery, we're going to have this particular cat here looking down at this pleasure. So as we notice this energy shifting through, right, you're coming in with this inquisitiveness of flow, allowing for communication to happen more internally. So you can imagine, what is this new beginning, a fresh start for you all about? Leading into, yeah, touch base with that authenticity a little bit more and allowing for that mystery to come through of who you truly are. Because there's a lot of pleasure behind this. There's a lot of seeking things that will bring peace and calm in communication with internal self. So, meditation would be a beautiful practice for you to actually feel more connected with where this new beginning is bringing you into. Because here's where we get this big shift. And I want to say there's like a lot of power in this particular. We've still got water. You're still very much in flow. You're still very much being guided to allow the current to take you where you need to go. Balance, we talked about balance in the very beginning here, how we've got so much balance that really is coming through in your energy. I think you've been through it. This fiery nature that has come through in this shift here, after we're leading into the more parts of you that could be leading into pleasure, like you've been through it though. Something here has been challenging to see and feel the balance without needing control. And, I personally would resonate with pile number one here in the fact that there's so many things in life that we sometimes experience that feel like, if I don't maintain what I need to, if I don't, pick up the pieces, if I'm not the one that organizes the stuff, then it's not going to happen. And for you, the message very strongly here is, it's actually going to happen when you stop doing that. The balance and the fiery restart is going to happen when you allow yourself to move into what I want to call opposite land. Okay, so we've got a lot of opposite energy to what you've had to experience or had to endure, is more so the word, over the last 8 months. So look back. What has the last 8 months been for you? Where have you endured? Where have you noticed that your life wants you to shift more into these parts of you that are activating, that you haven't necessarily shared with a lot of people? It's been an internal dialogue, and noticing how when you lean into all of that, like, this is your energy that we're seeing right now. When you lean into that, how that pleasure actually creates that balance, actually creates that ability to see all of those parts that felt like they couldn't be come into life. So I feel like I want to do one more card for you here. Yeah, there we go. Nice and gentle sway off of the deck here. And this particular one is the ending of where we're allowed to see that story going. So if this is the story of your energy coming through right now and what it is that we are getting a glimpse into in the remembering of your soul, where is this leading into? Right? Where are we allowed to? And I want to say that in quotation marks, allowed being what is the information that will resonate most to you at this time before a shift occurs? Because I think you're at the beginning. You're at number one, you're at the starting ground. So, what else is the very last thing for you to know so that we can maintain that mystery of knowing that you have so much more to unfold? And sometimes that journey of unfolding is the part that we're supposed to experience. If we were to know all of the answers and have everything given to us, then we wouldn't experience what we need to in between to actually get to the destination that we are trying to get to. So of course. Okay, so the energy of patience is I'm actually like beaming right now for you because this is hilarious that I'm intending for this to move slower for you so that you can sit in the energy of having this patience. And like I said in the beginning, you're probably feeling like, okay, move through this faster. But that's the message for you to know is it's not meant for you to move through this faster. And this aligns so beautifully. I want you to see the color, the story of the colors here is of no coincidence. It's for a reason that we have your authenticity and your flow really leading into patience being where your pleasure is, being where this storyline is so impactful for you. And I want to move into the Moon Logic deck here next and see what it is that your soul is really calling you to remember at this time. We've still got this slow patience of the bloom going on with our blooming tea here and just allowing for yourself to expand in time. You are in perfect time. There's nothing else you need to do. There's nowhere else that you need to travel in order to experience what you need to. It has been done, it has been written, and it's just allowing for yourself to actually catch up with what is already there. So, what does your soul call you to remember today? And now we've got this like really steady energy to these cards. I feel like we could just like one after another, step, step, step. There we go, right? You are ready to build. You are ready to build on who you are. These ripples in the tide that have been occurring for far, 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 I want to say far too long, something you've wanted to call forward, something you've wanted to create. This is the creator group here where you are literally the blooming oracle. You are the one who is blooming at this particular point in your life with the starting of square one. You are building a foundation to something internally for the last 8 months. Notice where you have planted seeds. They are about to start growing. You are about to close out a cycle of something that has been contemplating for a very long time. We've got 9 ending of a cycle here, and we've got probably some feelings of perhaps doubt that have been circulating in the background. Maybe you've had feelings of grief from experiences that you've had that have been connected to things you didn't realize unconsciously were really important for you to purge at this time. So if you've had a lot more emotions, we've got the wateriness here of this particular card is indicative of just a lot of emotions coming to the surface and closing out of that cycle happening for you. Now we've got extreme abundance coming forward with this. So this particular card in the deck, a new doorway you're about to step through. This is the threshold. This is abundance with number 8. This is, imagine you've had something that you've wanted to do before. And as you've wanted to do this thing before, you have tried to figure out a way to make it successful. And this is very much the energy, I have tried that, it hasn't worked, and now I don't know how I'm supposed to try that again. This is your message that your soul is calling you to remember that everything you have ever tried before that hasn't added up to the results that you've wanted has actually been to gain step by step the wisdom and the embodiment of what you're about to step into. You're about to close out all of those things that didn't work. You're about to start something new and activate senses within you that you've never experienced before. And it's not about trying and working really hard and doing all of the things. It's actually about letting go, getting into that flow, having less control, communicating with yourself so that you can move into this balanced state of where you've been so patient for to receive. and actually step through that doorway, you've been looking at this for a while. Internally, you've been looking at this for a while. So notice what you want to step into. Take this message today as your opportunity to say yes, your opportunity to walk over that threshold, even if it feels like you've been at that doorway for quite some time, and to allow whatever emotions need to come forward for you in order to close out that cycle that said that I can't, that said that I tried, that said that it didn't work, that said that I don't even understand why I tried this to begin with, or who am I? This message for you is to truly remember who you are, to see and feel that fieriness of this particular card here, to allow everything around you that has occurred to be the mystery of life that has added up to an embodiment that is so very strong in who you are. And it is time to raise your head, feel that balance of everything that has occurred on one side and then another side, and allow for a new doorway to swing wide open with abundance in a whole new way. So, pile number one, this is your message for you today. And our blooming bud here has got one leaf that is just starting to come through. And that's because that's where you are. You're at the beginning of opening up to so much more that is about to happen for you today. So, thank you so much for being here. And if you want to go ahead and skip to the end and see the rest of the full tea leaf reading, then you can go ahead and do that now, or hang around if you feel like you were called to any of the other groups. All right, pile number two, we are going to move into the message that your soul is calling you to know at this time, calling you to remember at this time. This group feels very soulful, feels very past life connected, feels very, I've been here before. I know the knowledge. It is time for me to actually slow and get into the full, I want to say, like really musically in tuned. So when you pluck an instrument, when you feel that sense of vibration, then it's not about actually the moment in which that string is plucked. It's actually the vibration that happens afterwards that creates all of that tone. So you are actually in that era of what happens after the initial action has happened. So for you, I don't think this initial action has actually happened in this lifetime. I think this very much so is about creating connection and clarity into who you've been before. So let's see if we can dive even deeper into that particular message. Now, we've got the beautiful blooming bud here that is just starting to show life. And I feel like group number one was almost the in between. This is kind of interesting. If you're feeling a little bit connected to another group, then that's absolutely cool for you to go ahead and check out more than one. But I'm feeling like group number one was actually the point in time after group number two. So we'll see where that unfolds here, because I think group number two, you are a very old soul that is actually connecting to all of those soul gifts and soul traits in this particular lifetime. And in this particular lifetime, I don't think you've had the opportunity to truly express a lot of what you came here to do yet. So we're going to start off with the energy that you're coming into this reading with, the energy that is wanting to come through you and be expressed, and see where it is that our starting point is for this particular spring of life. And I want to say spring of life in the sense of we've got master numbers going on here. So you've probably experienced some sort of lifetime where you have learned a lot about being an intuitive. And you've also learned a lot about how it is that partnerships have created something for you to actually pause on. That this particular lifetime is meant for you to more so be on a solo path. And I don't mean necessarily in relationships and not having relationships or being alone all the time, but maybe more so being able to tune into your gifts and the things that are waiting for you to be expressed are for you. This is not about creating partnerships and being able to rely on other people to figure out what it is that you need to do next. There is a lot of this, like, I am the master of my life energy. I've done this before. I just need to remember that I don't need anything else besides me in order to craft and create that clarity and connection in my life. Now, this is really cool that we've got new moon for this particular deck as well. We've got a new moon today where we are dropping this beautiful message into, and this is all about creating who it is that you get to decide to be in this life. And we've got so much of this creator and artist energy that has been coming through with the messages today. And we're going to go ahead and see, what is your energy coming in with? What is the story of your energy, and what is the glimpse that we are able to see at this particular point in time? We're going to use all of these. You have a very playful energy, and I think you've been expressing that a little bit more so in probably the recent days, I want to say. If you've had something that's been going a little bit more right in your life, this is because you were about to connect into all of the pieces of you they've been integrating. And those pieces, again, are not experiences that you've been having in this particular lifetime. This is experiences that you have had in more than one past life. And starting off with the energy you're coming in with, presence. Yeah, your presence is something else. So the shift between pile number one to pile number two was a very smooth shift. There was just so much need for control initially in the beginning of pile number one that I feel is very important to message and to remind in this particular pile, because maybe you're coming from pile number one already and already starting to see a transition in your life where you want to let go of that control. And this group here, number two, is where we've got presence of that already occurring. And how, when you're allowing yourself to sit in the presence of who you truly are, so much can unfold. So the black and white here is actually a really great indicator of how things can go one way or another. Now, when you allow for things to go one way or another and not need for them to be one way or another, let's see where that energy allows for you. Wow, okay, so definitely connected, right? We've got mystery. This card came through in pile number one as well. Now, mystery and presence, we've got so much to unfold here for number two. You have something really cool going on in your vibe right now. There is something that I think is like secret energy for you, and you already know what this is. So this is not like, oh, I wonder what the secret is and when am I going to find out? This is like, I have a secret to share, and my presence is what's allowing it to unfold. I don't even really need anybody to know. So you have something that's really cool, again, going on in your vibe here. Okay, so you saw me shuffle, and we've got similar cards coming out here. So one and two, again, really connected. We've got pleasure. So pleasure is literally the card that came next after mystery in pile number one. So I don't know if you have a friend that is also watching this particular reading with you. We had this partner energy coming through, right? In the sense of, you don't need to have somebody else's say approval or say or appreciation or knowledge or connection or collaboration in order for you to tune into this mystery about who you are and this secret that you're ready to express in your life as well. So I feel like if you've got somebody else who you know that is watching this reading, maybe they picked a different pile, maybe they picked the same card. There's connection that is really strong and beautiful to others, but you don't have to rely on others to accomplish what it is that you want in life. This is your reminder. Your soul is calling you to remember that you have all the confidence and the wisdom that you need. You actually have multiple lifetimes of building on who you are that you have brought into this experience with you, and it is just time to soar. Now this particular energy has a, or card rather, has a lot different energy in it than pile number one. This particular one for you is more of that expansive. It is ready to fly. You are ready to fly. We've got very different color energy going on, very different storylines going on between one and two. But this connection to, it's okay for other people to be around you and be loving and supportive, but you don't need anyone else's approval in order to expand on this secret part of who you are. So, patience, okay. I don't know. I don't know, but these cards are feeling very like, why are they exactly the same today for 1 and 2? We've got patience in, I think, the fact that patience with yourself as you're stepping into something that you think is brand new, you think you've never done before, but you have done before. So, this is actually about eliminating the need. This is an opposite messaging, eliminating the need to be patient any longer. It is time. It is time to move. So, we've also got peace. This is a protection message for you today, for you to realize that there is nowhere outside of you that you need to belong in order to feel safe to step into where you really want to step into. We've got so much of this collective soul shifting energy that has been occurring behind the scenes. You've probably felt it if you're an intuitive, if you're somebody that has really been checking in on how you feel and really discerning where you think life is taking you. This message here is a very peaceful, calming, gentle swaying into continuing where you have been moving that needle forward. You've got so much around you that is of loved ones that wants to encourage you, that wants to allow for you to see yourself the way that they truly see you. And to notice that if you're ever in those moments where you feel really into the calm parts of who you are, you have that moment where there's absolutely nothing to do, you're sitting there with yourself, and you just kind of notice that it feels like you're not alone. There are definitely loved ones past that are connected into watching over you at this time, and they see you. They see those moments that you are saying, I miss you. I want you to be here. I still wish you were here. And they are. They're there for you in those moments, and they're, I want to say, holding your hand. There's this very heavy presence of like a hand being held within mine, and just noticing that those moments of peace, you're not alone, you are always protected. So let's see what else your energy is coming in with. Woo! Okay. Yeah, protection. What were we just talking about here? Okay. So, protection, you were highly protected. I think the most important message for you to understand today is that your words are protected, your energy is protected, your life is protected, your experiences are protected. You've been through something in this life that has been reminiscent of something that has been a timeline you've experienced before, and that is no longer something that needs to be in the center of your focus in this life. So it is time to embody the connection to who you truly are and to know that you are protected in every sense of how you walk your path here, that your presence is something really magnetic and beautiful and mysterious, and to allow for this to unfold in your life in a way that you didn't expect. So much unexpected beauty in this particular group. So there's one more card here that wants to come out for you. And this is going to be the end to where this storyline is going for today. And the information that's going to make the most sense for you to know up until this point, for you to then move forward. And so the last of what your energy is bringing to the table today. Okay, I don't know if you noticed that one shoot out, but we've got it over here on the side. And we've got magic. Now I'm going to take the two that were really connected into each other here as this came out. So much of this black and white energy. And again, for black and white, I'm really feeling that strong presence of power this way or that way. And I mean, there's nothing better than magic, right? The magic of who you are is clearly protected. Allow yourself to let go of the parts of you that you think were not okay to be and to be, because you've got this peaceful presence around you as well that really wants to sing through. And miracles, I mean, miracles are about to happen in your life. We've got, look at this really lovely connection to your spring of life, to allowing for life to really occur for you at this time, is what your soul really wants you to know. And we're going to do shift into the Moon Logic deck here now for just getting some last clarity on all of that beautiful energy that you're coming in with and your presence. And what is it that your soul is really calling you to remember as we start to have our bloom start to spread open here more, and to really start to see the color of life that is coming through. So what is your soul? I think we've got these two are just so, so beautifully strong. I think you've got so much empowerment that's about to happen in your life as you allow for yourself to feel those stronger parts of who you are. And we're going to go ahead and take these two here, as I feel like there's so much emotion in these two cards right now. I could literally tear up for you. And what you're being called to remember is very, very powerful. The parts of you that are coming in together, see the imagery of the card that brought you here. This is the one that really drove you to this particular reading. And man, I just like the emotion. The emotion in my heart chakra is so wild at this particular moment. And I want you to remember that. See all these tiny little bits of beautiful magical orbs in the forest here. This number one is all of this incredible ancestral energy that is around you, that is protecting you, that is with you. And those loved ones that are never lost are always with you. But also, these are all of these incredible parts of you that are coming in together, this integration that is happening within this storyline, this timeline of the life that you're living is where you are right at this very moment. And so, as you are receiving all of that wisdom and that knowledge back and stepping into that powerful part of your life, we have a complete ending of a cycle occurring. So the extinction cards here in the Moon Logic deck are all about a cycle, a problem, a challenge, a way of life, something that has occurred for so many cycles, for so many times around that when somebody says to you, okay, like that lesson, have you learned that lesson yet? Is it time for you to step into something else? Or you think you've gone through a cycle, it's never going to happen again, and it keeps happening again. This card is here to say that that is no more. Extinction. When something is gone, it is gone. That cycle is gone. The death card is all about completely allowing something to be over. Now, this is also highly connected into finances. So, this is where you're about to step into more of an abundant era of your life because you are allowing for yourself to be seen in that presence and that mystery of who you are, to know that you are so highly protected as you step into wanting what you want because it is wanting you as well. And no wonder there was so much power of energy and emotion that was really felt within this particular card because this says to you that it is okay in the most powerful sense. And it is done, it is over. So, whatever it is that needed to be over for you, I don't even think that you really know. This might be that group where you have these really strong emotions that come up once in a while that it's like, I don't even know why I feel like this. You are connecting into past life energy when that occurs. You are moving through the sorrows and the challenges of things that have occurred that you don't have an actual remembrance for. You don't know those actual experiences that you're moving through the emotions of. It is okay. Allow for them to wash away through you and to know that you are ready to step into something else. This is your last card here. And I want to say how incredibly, like the words are even hard to come out with the emotion that wants to come through. This one here, I feel, is absolutely a message from your dear loved ones. So, whoever it is that you were thinking this message was coming through from today, this is a message from them. And I'm not even going to say anything more because I think this card is going to completely speak for itself when it's flipped over. And I want you to really pay attention to the visuals and to notice and to seek into how it makes you feel when I flip this card over as the message from that person that's on your heart right now. Maybe you've been seeing angel numbers. Maybe you've been noticing in the distance that you're moving towards something, but you're not quite sure how to allow yourself to continue moving towards it because these emotions keep coming up. This card here is allowing for that timeline. We've talked about timeline quite a bit here to really activate, for you to know that you have been in a conscious state of unknowing for a very long time. And miracles are about to unfold in your life. We've got this seeking the path in the sense of water really occurring for you here. This one here, we've got this beautiful river or stream or creek that is so inviting. And then we've got the, okay, message from those that have been this lighthouse for you, right? So where have you been seeking information and actually been receiving exactly what you need if you were to open yourself up to the possibility that you are always protected, that you are always going to be in a seeker mode because you are connected to so much of the wisdom in your past lives, and to know that it's not actually about trying to seek and get to this safe harbor, that your journey is an entirely new timeline at this particular moment in time. And that timeline is about to expand into something that you probably seen coming, in the sense of we've got this secret knowing of information, but also I think you're about to have quite a few downloads that are going to happen within your dream state as you awaken. You're going through a serious spiritual awakening at this particular time, and as this blooming bud really starts to open up and to seek the wisdom that is happening through expansion, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So thank you for lending me, I want to say, a glimpse into your energy today, and for the beautiful sense of emotion and power that comes through with the presence of who you are. And if you want to stay tuned until the end, or go ahead and jump to the tea leaf reading at the end, then I welcome to see you there. Wow, we're doing a cleanup of the cards in between. And number one, if you have lost something, it you don't need it. I don't know why this ring is so significant for that, but like if you have lost something, you don't need it. So take whoever that might be meant for, one particular person. But we had this incredible shooting card here. Okay, card number one. I think you might be pile number one. There might have been meant to watch all of the spreads today. So if you have, then that's perfect. We're going to reset the tone for pile number three here. And you chose the lovers. Now, the lovers card is all about choosing whether or not you're going to walk through life. It's weird how I wanted to say work through life. So, this is my worker bee pile. If you were pile number three, you are somebody that is used to putting in the work. And this card is calling you to remember the message that your soul is really calling you to remember, is that you get to choose if you want to walk through this life with power or with force. There's two very, very different energies that occur whether or not you are choosing a situation with power and volition and showing up in your essence and in your confidence, versus being forced to do something, forced to show up, forced to work your way through. And this is about, I want to show you this particular card here. The beautiful ring here is, it actually has the inscription is in the wow, words. This is my pile of like, I have no words. I have no words because you've been through something that is like, I can't even believe it. I can't believe that I've had to put in the effort that I have. I have no words for how much I have really struggled to put things together. And so the energy that's really coming through quite strong here with this inscription of the Egyptian hieroglyphics is power versus force. Where have you allowed yourself to get into a forced state of life by thinking that you need to, rather than being in your power? So, being in your power, what does that mean to you? You're being called to remember that it is time to choose where it is that you need to step into your power. So, as we are, I'm going to actually bring our beautiful bud here to the surface as it's starting to unfold. And we have so much of this really patience energy that has been coming through for all of the piles today. And the love of the lover's card is really signaling you to tune into the love of power. And is it okay? right? Do you feel it is okay to be in a powerful state? Maybe it's time to challenge those beliefs that you may have about what does it mean to be powerful. So we're going to start with the energy that you're coming in with. And wow, immediately harmony. Okay. So harmony, whether you feel like your energy has been in a harmony or not, you were about to step into that. Your energy is really seeking harmony at this time. And I think harmony for you is about figuring out where is it that power actually feels like a bad thing? Where is it that you need to seek through the moments of your life to realize where power might have been something that was a challenging thing that you've experienced, and therefore having to step into now as an adult more of this I need to assert in order to get things done. And I don't know that I want to be that person. Challenging where the balance and the harmonies of power versus force in life is leading you into clearing up some old limiting beliefs about experiences that you may have had with others in the past. So, harmony, being really called into harmony. Wow, we've got, okay, this one. This one I'm actually going to do after this one that flipped over for you here. We've got awareness. Yeah, coming into a seriously high state of awareness. We've got so much back and forth flipping energy that wants to come through with pile number 3 here. Now, with pile number 3, I want to say 333. You got a 3 you got a thing for 3. You may want to check out pile number 2. We had 33 for a very different reason in pile number 2, but for you here in this beautiful group, you are so incredibly in tune with seeing things from a higher perspective that it is hard for you to actually get out of the details. And those details might be I see the repercussions of what's coming down the line if I don't, or I can tell for that person what they're about to step into. It's that, again, worker bee energy that you already know how to do all of the things. Maybe you're someone that you find it really difficult to allow other people to help you because you know that you can do it well, you know that you can do it efficiently, and you know that you can do it really in a grounded sense of I got this. I don't even think that you're going to contribute anything. It is time to open up how you feel about others contributing and how you can step into more of that powerful leadership role without being forced to move things into a restrictive position, challenging maybe the thoughts on where power and restriction, power and forcing people to do things. Like, I think the difference between power and force is so thin and so incredibly vast at the same time, where you can be a powerfully aligned walking individual and you can also be in the state of like being tumbled with force down a mountainside. And those two things are very, very different. So, where is it that you need to disconnect what you think the meaning of power and force is? So, your energy is also coming in with this imagination card. So, we actually had imagination come through in pile number 1. So much connection happening between all 3 groups today. And I think that's just because we have so much shift in our collective society that is happening right now that there's so many timelines that are weaving through of things we could have done, people we could have been, and allowing for everything to just be different than what it was before. And so that creates connection among people. Now, again, very different shifting back and forth energy that is occurring here, where there isn't this stream of one thing and then another thing in a very grounded sense. This is like, I got to do this, and I got to do this, I got to do that, and then I got to do this over here. So it is time to get out of that scattered energy and imagine something different. So, what could be different as we're looking at the story of your energy here, a glimpse in time? Getting out of that scattered energy. Wow, like it's very hard. This card wanted to set fire, okay? So this particular card, I feel like is an action step for you to be able to set fire to this pattern, this very, like I want to throw these cards off and I'm going to leave this in this sense because don't you want to get out of this? Isn't this chaos of whatever it is that is happening? It may be in one particular area of your life where you're noticing rather like the words just want to come out even faster than I can say them with this group. It's like boom, 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 boom. You've been hammered. So, what is it that's going to set that pattern on fire and open up your life in a really amazing way? Nurture. Sometimes the message we need to hear most is the message we already know and we're tired of hearing. So, if somebody has been telling you it is time, look, we've got 8 Card number 8 here. This card is connected into abundance. We've got green, heart, chakra, energy expanding open into the softer parts of you that can be very powerful. Allowing yourself to feel nurtured at this time. High state of awareness happening for you here. This card wants to be over here to say, like, yeah, 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 remember me. Remember the high awareness that I have, that it can also allow for you to become softer with the things that you know. People probably find it very hard to keep up with you, but that's okay. Don't allow it to be a disadvantage in your own mindset, though. Other people are okay, other people are good. Sometimes it's all right to accept help and to allow yourself to be nurtured by others as well. So, what else is in your energy? All of these beautiful cards. We're going to do that one. Connection. Yeah, it is time to really connect into who you are. And this lone wolf here is, think about this incredibly powerful how that would happen. This is full moon energy. This is coming into that part of you that is, like, I want to say there's a lot of divine feminine in this particular group. It doesn't matter what particular gender that you identify with, but we've got this incredible divine softness of power and leaning into what that could mean. Let's do one more card here, and then we're going to get into the specifics of the message that your soul is reminding you. Yeah, just to get into play. Like, it is time to play with those softer parts of who you are so that you can make a choice and decide, where am I going to let go of what I thought it meant to be powerful, and how that can actually lead me into a very purposeful part of my life. And me, by me, I mean you. And by you, I mean, wow, you are something else. Allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are. It's okay if people can't keep up with you. You've got so much knowledge in so many different areas here, so much you've experienced in your life, but don't allow that to be a barrier for entry for others into your life. There's some connection that wants to happen here with others, and just let yourself get into more of that playful state of what that could mean for your life. What is your soul calling you to remember? Ooh, hoo, hoo. It was like yes, but no. What is your soul calling you to remember? What is pile number 3? There we go. So much that wants to jump into the fire, and like, let's not. I think there's this energy of, like, I could burn it all down, and that's okay. That's okay to feel like everything could go, but it's power. Think about how powerful fire truly can be, and you are expanding into a whole nother existence here. And this is allowing for the unknown. This is like the leap forward into the unknown of this incredibly powerful vortex. Now, knowing that this is the message that your soul is really calling you to know, as you step into that powerful vortex of who you are, you make the choice. We've got so much circle energy here for you. There's so much portal energy. There's so much allowing for yourself to be ported into a new expression of who you are with power. You're very connected into this collective clarity of what's happening in the world right now. Like I said, you see big picture, you see all the sides, you can be all the pieces, but it is time that you don't need to physically be all of those pieces, that you can allow for others to let you be in more of this nurtured state, and to not have that barrier to entry. There's this barrier to entry, for some reason, is a very strong phrase that comes through with pile number 3 here. The deep sea resonance card is all about really paying attention to how you feel, how you sense through things. It's less about words and more about getting into that state. And state is a powerful thing when you think about what is your stance, what is your position, and realizing that your body language might be actually something that is a very powerful thing that other people perceive you by. How are you perceiving yourself? Looking in the mirror and noticing, what do I need to feel about myself, that I need to nurture about myself, in order to make the decision to walk your path with power instead of force. Now, ripples in the tide, we had pile number 1 was really connected into these ripples in the tide. So this is about closing out that cycle. And maybe it's time for you to be a little bit more in touch with your feelings. Again, that messaging of, like, okay, I've heard it before, I've done it before. And I think you're very grounded and sensical. You're very logical. But this is more about just allowing yourself to contemplate the different ways of being that you could be if that language wasn't in the way. And I want to say that this is internal language. This is an awareness that a cycle is closing for you below the surface. You've really had time to contemplate the things that you want in life. But the choice, there's so much choice that is happening for you right now that you get to decide how you are not going to have to be the worker in life anymore. Letting yourself be connected to others, letting yourself step into a new portal of who you could be, and just imagine how, if you were to do that by saying, I am a powerful being, I do not need to be forced to do anything, could really translate into incredible things in your life. So, pile number 3, thank you so much for joining me with your energy here. Now, we're going to close out the reading for all 3 piles with the blooming tea bud here. All right, if you are joining me at the end here for your tea leaf reading, we have the beautiful blooming bud here of the rising spring. Now, we've had so much slow down that has come through with each and every pile, but getting more concise about what you want, allowing yourself to get into flow, and all of them being very connected. So, if you are here at the end and looking for your message, I want you to actually gaze into this bud here. So you will notice that our bloom is not quite bloomed. And I think that's the most powerful message that we can receive today for this particular leaf reading, is that there is so much more to come. And there is so much of a beginning stage that is happening for anybody that is watching and listening for today, that there is no more need to push things along. Wherever you are is exactly where you are meant to be. Whatever is in your heart that you are wanting to receive right now, you are able to receive. You don't need to pry this open. For any of those of you out here who are ready to say, but it was supposed to bloom, now is not the time to think that anything else needed to be any different. The strongest message of our tea leaf reading today is that you have many sides to who you are. And I really want to almost give this a turn for the different perspectives of who you are. I think in life you've had to go through some situations where you've had one perspective because of the way that you have experienced others treating you. But as you are able to shift that perspective into a new timeline, into a new direction, so that you can actually see that there is more to come. There is another side to this that I haven't seen yet. There is more for me to bloom within the container that I am. And maybe it's time to turn up the heat. Now, our water within our tea, it is cooled, right? Throughout these readings, we have cooled off. There is no more heat in this cup. And maybe that's a significant message for you to say the heat is no longer on. The pressure to expand is no longer on. And there is so much more to come. And to allow yourself to unfold and to bloom in perfect timing, and to allow for that perspective to keep changing. And as that perspective changes and shifts right back into another angle here, that you are able to see all parts of you in a new light. That it doesn't matter how other people see you, because that is not where your path is walking you. To know that you are always congruently in your own sense of being, regardless of how other people see you, and to step into the confidence of knowing that, hey, I have more to show, but it's not for everyone to see. So thank you so much for being here today with the Blooming Oracle Enchanted Tea Room. We have so much more to come. Go ahead and check out more of the pick a card readings to come, and more tea leaf readings to expand on what we know to be true.